She's already done everything that you're trying to do. Oh my God, I look like death. You brushed your hair and put a bra on. This is how you know you're 29, by the way.
It's already live.
Mm-hmm.
We're just waiting for your friends.
Oh, they'll come quick. Oh my God, look at this hair. Whoa, what?
If you say hello, they will come.
I am a true Fushnik. Morning. Hey, Aim. Hello, everybody. Oh boy. I just would like to point out to everybody the difference between 41 and 29 is 41 gets up and does coffee talk like this. 29 gets up, changes her outfit, puts on a bra, brushes her hair, puts her glasses on, and probably brushed her teeth. 41 did none of that, okay? 41 got up, made coffee, and went, ugh, I got to drive home to my kid's soccer game. And she was like, hold on, I'm almost ready.
I can't have nips showing on live television. I'm sure there's some S&P about that.
I think I did do a nip slip in Coffee Talk one time, and it was the talk of the town on Coffee Talk. They were like, we could see your nip. I'm like, are you still alive? Are you okay? I had 3 kids. Did it scar ya?
Oh.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Talk. It is Saturday. We are live from Nashville. I, as you know, am Jamie. I'm the 41-year-old in this equation. And this is my friend and coworker, Katie. She's the 29-year-old in this equation, in case you didn't put that together. Hi, Rocco. So, anyway, very rarely do I have guests on Coffee Talk because it's my show and I can be stingy if I want to be. But
we slept together last night.
But we did sleep in the same bed last night, so I feel like, you know, when you sleep with someone, you shouldn't just dine and dash, right? Ew, that sounded gross. Not dine. Nope. There was no dining. You shouldn't just sleep and dash. You should make them part of your morning routine. So here we are. I would like to tell you, not that I'm bragging, but I know how much you guys love him, that I did wake up from a text message from Lionel Richie. They love Lionel Richie. I sent him a... Hi, Katie. They're saying hi. I sent him a message congratulating him on his hands being put in the cement that's outside the Man's Chinese Theater in LA. And he wrote me back a sweet message. I also got a message from Foxy Brown. Guys, I'm basically on my way to be becoming part of the Il Nana, like bad boy, like Wu-Tang Clan, basically. I'm this close to being a rapper. I just want to tell you. So when I stop doing Coffee Talk because I'm going to hit the road and be a rapper, that's why. You're welcome. You can come see me on tour. Oh goodness, I need glasses because there's no way I can read that from here.
See, and here you were making fun of me.
No, but you need glasses. I don't need glasses. Like you have glasses because what? You're farsighted or
yeah?
What are you? Farsighted.
Yeah.
I'm just old. There's a difference.
Are you excited to see him on American Idol? Oh, I wish I could have made it to Nashville.
I'm always excited to see Lionel on anything. Personally, I'm a little over American Idol as a format, but I love Lionel Richie, so I will support him. Yes.
You prefer The Voice, obviously. MGM.
I prefer The Voice, obviously. You know, because I watch The Voice religiously. I don't watch anything religiously except for my kids. Okay, so Katie and I are doing, we're doing the Baxter series together, as you guys know. Katie works for MGM. But more importantly, what I thought was interesting is Katie is 29. So basically, for me, she's like a fossil. Like I found something shiny that I can talk to. Because when I was 29, I was engaged to Michael. And my life had been turned upside down. I moved from LA and moved my business to Birmingham where everyone told me I would fail. And I watched the life that I had known, that I had created for myself, disappear in the rearview mirror. As I drove from LA to Birmingham, I was like, oh my God, I'm actually like losing my life here. And I was engaged, planning a wedding. I felt way over my head. I felt terrified that I don't even know that I would fail at everything, that I was failing at everything. Also, I felt out of control of my own life because when my life was a chaos, it was controlled chaos for me. Like, it looked chaotic to everybody else from the outside. Like, what is this girl doing? She's running, she's flying, she's doing this, she's doing that. But
right.
I
and
felt...
people said you were making a huge mistake, right? By moving out of LA, moving to Birmingham while being a publicist.
Oh, yes. Everybody told me that my life would fail, that would never work, my career would never take off, that Birmingham is not even a market anybody recognizes.
Right.
Right? So what
Which was kind of true at the time.
No, it's still true. Let's keep it real, folks. Still true. I do think, I will give myself credit in that I do think it's exceptional what I've been able to accomplish from Alabama while having a family.
Yes.
Like, if I was single, just like a single girl working out of Birmingham, I'd be like, all right, it's been interesting. But the fact that I've had 3 kids, and I had 3 under 3, which is a lot of babies in one time, to keep going. But let's not talk about me, because you all know about me. What I want to know is, what do 29s...
I would say it's really super impressive, right? Because we're working together right now. We're in pre-production on a show. It requires, like, we just got in 6 new scripts last night at 2 o'clock in the morning. They need to be read. They need notes this weekend, right? So the writers can start on the new drafts first thing Monday morning. I am a single woman, right? No kids. So I can do this selfishly whenever I want to. You can't. Like, you have so many other commitments, and it really is so amazing how you juggle it and work on that. And I know you felt guilty sometimes.
A lot of times.
When we've been on conference calls, and you're like, guys, I've got to go. I've got to do something with my kids. But I think it's so important to set an example for those that are younger, that do want to have families one day, to show, creating balance. And this is how you do it, and this is what it looks like. And you can do both, but you have to make sacrifices.
And it's hard because it is hard to be the person on the call that says, guys, I hate to do this, but I have to do something with my kids. Because you never want them to be like, oh, we shouldn't work with her because she's clearly not focused.
Well, and you do see a lot of gender bias in our industry against moms.
There's a lot of gender bias in a lot of industries against mom. Not so much against women, although there is gender bias against women. But especially with moms. They don't want to hear that you are torn between your kids and your job. I am very lucky. Listen, I love to give Will Packer shit more than anyone in the world. I literally live to give Will Packer. Like, nothing brings me more joy, losing weight and giving Will Packer shit.
I love Will.
Okay? I mean, I love Will too, but that's part of it. Like, one thing I will say about working for Will is Will is a father first. He is a father first, and he made that decision a long time ago. I am a father first, then I'm a producer. When we have something going on, I will tell you guys, the scariest situation I've ever been put in professionally has happened with this young buck right here. And I've been working a long time. We don't need to go back to how many years before she was even probably born. We start shooting our show on the 26th. I have been looking forward to day 1 of this show for so long, I can't even tell you. We were supposed to start on the 19th, but like so many things in production, we got pushed back a week. We're going to move on to 20-year-olds. I know that's what you guys want to hear about. We're moving on after this story. We got pushed back a week to the 26th, and I was like, oh, because my kids start spring break on the 26th. And Michael and I, every year, carve out that week to be a family. Because we don't want our kids to feel like, okay, you guys short us the whole year. You pick us up from school, you're on the phone the whole car ride, you're on the phone making dinner, you're on the phone after bedtime. So we carve out a week where we really try to be present and we try to be parents. Our production starts the same day our spring break does. I was at Girl Scouts in Savannah. I don't know if you guys remember when I was in Savannah. Sweating, literally started crying because I was like, oh my God, they're going to think that I'm not committed to this project because I have to go on spring break with my children. That was my biggest fear. Will is going to be like angry. Katie's going to be disappointed. Like, I was just like, this sucks. I called my husband. I was like, I can't go to the beach. He was like, okay, then we'll figure it out. Because that's who Michael is. I called James and Will, and they were like, no. you're going on spring break with your kids. That is the company we are. We will figure it out. There's 80 producers on this project. Someone can cover you, and you will sit the last 2 weeks. You will be there every day on set, and you will give them reprieve. They can cover you week 1. And I was like, I don't want to tell Katie that I have to go on spring break. She won't get it. And Will was like, you know what? She may not get it today, but 5 years from now when she's a mom, she will get it. She will look back and go, okay, someone else figured this out. I can figure this out too. So, of course, I call Katie and I tell her, to which she says the words that saved my life. She said, no, don't be silly. Go. So many times production gets pushed back anyway. Who knows? I would hate for you to move your spring break and then we push 3 days and you've already missed half your time. And I was like, I was like, okay, God is all over this, because I had been praying about her reaction. I was so afraid that she would be like, oh, Jamie, this is really disappointing. We really need you. And you weren't. And I really appreciate that, and my kids really appreciate it, because I had set them up for what might come.
Oh, wow.
I said, I need you guys to understand. They understand my work. They understand start dates and things.
Yeah.
Olivia was not having it. She was like, you need to be with the Sullivans, not the Baxters. And I was like, I'm working on it. Thank you.
Even though I bought all her Girl Scout cookies.
She didn't care. 10-year-olds are very hard to win over.
Okay.
So, somebody named Nicole must have made an obnoxious comment, because Jennifer Chambers is not having it. Jennifer, I love you. I don't know who you are, but... All right, Katie, they're very happy with you.
Hi, guys.
So,
what do you want to talk about?
Go Katie. Go Katie. Go
Thanks,
Katie.
Santa.
Go Katie.
Hey.
Do you guys have any questions for a 41-year-old or a 29-year-old? Yes. Katie has a wonderful mindset. Aww. She does. Oh, they're ratting on the Nicole. Nicole Howard wants me to make sure she knows it's not us. That's okay. We love Katie too.
Seriously.
All right, let's not worry about Nicole. Yes, my employer is people first.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for 41 or 29? John Baxter is the man. I'm glad y'all are doing this. Brooklyn. Okay, so Brooklyn has been with me for years.
Oh, wow.
Brooklyn, you are going to love this series.
Yeah.
We are working. Katie looks 12. I know. Believe me, I know.
Katie, I'm 30 and being pressured to have kids. Do you ever feel the pressure from other people? Oh, that's a really interesting one. You know, I think for me, I live in Los Angeles, and it's just there are such different expectations and timing. But I was even talking about with somebody.
She wants to know, do you want kids?
Oh, of course. Yes, I want many babies, but I want the husband first.
Katie is very godly. You guys think I'm godly? This one came directly from the angels. Okay? She's like, I want the husband first. I'm like, I want the sex first.
I do literally work for an angel, Roma Downey.
Yeah, she works for Roma Downey, so she's literally touched by an angel. Oh my gosh. So, by the way, guys, on V94.9 this morning at 8 a.m., I recorded it yesterday, the radio show. You guys want to tune in this morning to listen to my top 10 duets of all time. Yes, Method Man is on there. Yes, Lionel Richie is on there. Top 10 duets of all time. 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern. So don't forget, as I choke to death. Did Katie
Nicole
put pillows as barriers? No.
Well, sort of. Okay, so I've been having insomnia from stress, right? So I was up for 2 hours last night.
I was
watching
asleep.
you sleep.
Oh my God. Somebody was talking last night about work at 11:45 at night, and I was literally like, I'm falling asleep on her. She's talking and I'm falling asleep. So finally I went, Katie, I'm so tired. She was like, oh, okay.
I was trying to get her reaction on a location that we were going to shoot in. But I didn't put it necessarily between us, but I do kind of sleep on my side. And sometimes I'll put it in between me. Because
Are you sitting on a booster seat, or is Katie that short?
I am that short. She is tall, though.
But I'm almost 5'8". I'm almost 5'8", and she
I'm like
is
5'3", 5'4", so yeah.
a midget. What advice does Katie have for women just starting in their career?
Oh, I love this one. I love this question because I'm very career oriented. I think the most
Sorry, go ahead.
people need to know.
The people do need to know, actually. Go ahead.
I think one of the most important things that you can do in your career early on is to figure out actually what it is you want to do. If you're still in college or you're fresh out of college, take internships. You know, there was a time when I was in college, I thought I really wanted to be an entertainment attorney. I was obsessed with Legally Blonde and wanted to be Elle Woods. And then I interned at an entertainment law firm and I hated it. I was bored out of my mind, and it saved me so much time of not taking the bar or the LSATs, not going to law school, not trying to get in the bar, but to figure it out early on. And I think the best thing that you can do is just learn, work at as many companies that you respect.
And a lot of young people are afraid to take internships. Guys, do not be afraid of internships. Taylor started with me. You all love Taylor. Taylor started with me as an intern. He worked his way up to my... Taylor worked his way up to my assistant. From my assistant became my CE. From my CE, got a job with Will Packer's company and now works for technically for Will's company as a CE in training.
Yeah. And then I will say, as an intern, as an assistant, as whatever the junior or the entry-level position that it is you're in, the single greatest advice I can give you is to figure out how to become indispensable to your direct supervisor. If you can become someone that they see that they cannot live without, that for me has been like the reason for my escalation.
CE is a creative executive. Sorry.
Did I say that?
No, I did. They're asking. They don't want me to use like monikers. They want me to use, because they're not in. It's industry talk.
Oh yeah.
That is great advice to become indispensable to your employer. I think the reason that I've had as much success as I've had with Will is, to Katie's point, because I make Will money on the feature side, on the TV side, on the digital side. Like, I sell across the board for him. So I really have created that space for him. That's an excellent point.
Figure out what it is that they actually need, right? As people, we're not always super open about it. We're not always super aware of it. But if you can figure out what it is that your boss needs and then fill that role, they're going to want to help you in return.
The number one question you should ask in an interview, and I always tell young people like this. Every time they say to me, Jamie, I have an interview. What advice do you have? It's V94.9. It's not 92.9. It's V94.9, and the V stands for variety, and it's in Birmingham. V94.9.
The number one advice.
The number one advice that I give people for interviews, the number one question I always say is ask the person you're interviewing with, what is the greatest need you have right now, and how can I help fill it? If the greatest need they have is keeping the kitchen clean, how can I help keep the kitchen clean while also learning the skills that I need to learn to become indispensable to this company? Do not be afraid to work in the mailroom.
Right.
At CAA, which is the largest entertainment agency in the country, or at least they think they are, but they're my agent, so I'll give them that. You have to go through the mailroom program before you can even be considered to be an agent. You have to work on someone's desk. You have to put years in to become an agent. Don't be afraid to do the work. Do you know how many red carpets I worked as a publicist, holding people's purses, so happy to be there? The first time I was on the carpets at the Academy Awards, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. And all I was doing was standing 75 people in the back on the red carpet. Yeah. So happy to just be there, to just learn.
Yeah.
Find a mentor. Also, find a mentor who's doing what you do and ask them for help. Ask them if you can help them.
Right. And it doesn't need to be something formal too. Like, I wouldn't, like, you mentor me in many ways, right? But I never went to you and said, Jamie, will you be my mentor? Right? Those sorts of things happen.
What could I possibly be mentoring you in right now?
You know, the balance and all of that. I think it's quite helpful. But
okay.
But that's it, right? Is that, like, I would consider, like, the people that I have in my career that are mentors to me, we never had the conversation.
Right.
Will you be my mentor? You know, it would just kind of happen organically. But it's finding people whose careers you would want to emulate, or, you know, the people that you respect, and just and learning what you can from them without getting in the way of their work.
Yes. And I would say, like, I definitely have that. James Lopez is a huge mentor for me in my office. He answers every question. Anytime I go to him and say, I tried to get something, but they gave me the runaround, he'll say, call this exact person and here's what I want you to say. He really does teach me. He wants me to do the work. He won't make the call for me, but he'll tell me exactly how to do it. So I'm lucky because I'm learning a lot from the people that I work with. When just starting your career, when do you start a family?
That's such a tricky question.
Don't go by me. I mean, I started my career very young in my 20s because truthfully I wanted to be drunk and party, and that was how I could do it. Katie is on a different path, and also wasn't a publicist. It was a different thing. Yeah. I will say this. There is no perfect time to start a family. Anyone who says there is lying. I got pregnant with Olivia and found that I was pregnant with her the week before my wedding. It was not that's not my timing. That was God's timing. I got pregnant with Max the first time we had sex after Olivia was born. That was definitely not my timing. That was definitely God's timing because I never would have chose that for myself. I had no reprieve. Having 2 babies 11 and a half months apart, that is not anyone's plan. And I was maintaining a business and paying employees all through that time. But you know what, guys? I wouldn't change anything. My journey was my journey. I made it work. Sometimes I think I was more successful because I had to work harder, because I was having kids. When you're ready to just get pregnant.
I think what I'll say about it, as someone who is in their late 20s and is still single and isn't there yet, for me, and I kind of blame our industry for this in some ways, I think we've perpetuated this myth that women can have it all, that you can have an amazing career and an amazing marriage and, an amazing family life and all of these children. And while you can, I think that to be good in your career, you have to really focus on that, and that will require some sacrifice from the time you're giving to your family. To be really devoted as a mother, you're going to have to be spending time where you're going to have to sacrifice some of the hours that you would put into work. The same with your marriage and all of that. So for me, I know that, or at least I believe that that's the case. So there is a certain level I want to be at in my career, I think, before I almost see it as like, okay, when I get married, I really want to make sure that I'm able to feed time into my husband and that we're able to enjoy each other for a while before we have children, right? And then we're going to have some children, right? And I want to be present for my children. My mom, she chose, in the 80s, kind of revolutionary, and then in the 90s, she worked part-time for the first 13 years of my life. And even as a 13-year-old, I didn't even realize that she was part-time. It felt full-time to me because I would still get home from school and she wouldn't be there yet.
Right.
Right? But that was my perception.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, goodness, if that's how she worked, as an attorney, working for the state, the kind of hours I work are insane. I leave the office at 10 o'clock.
But you can do that now.
Right.
You
because
wouldn't
I'm
do
single,
that.
because exactly. So,
I don't do that.
But I wouldn't accomplish as much at the office if I wasn't putting in those hours, right? So I know that
you prioritize what
exactly.
You learn from your children what is really a need and what is a want. And yes, you have to give into some of the wants, but it's more important to give into the needs. Spring break for us as a family is a need. My husband and I are going 90 miles an hour in opposite directions. As you all know, Michael and I have had a rocky path over the last 2 years. That week for us is really the week that we decompress. Sadly, Michael actually has a meeting that week with the governor that he cannot move. So he's going to drive from spring break all the way to the Capitol and drive back because he wants to be present for us. But that is a need. When my kids are just like, can I have a snack? Can I have, those are wants. You learn, you kind of learn. Or maybe you just tell yourself that so you don't feel guilty.
So one person asked if I was afraid of waiting to have children, right? She said, I'm 31 and I feel the ticking time clock. Are you afraid that you're going to wait and then you'll be too old? Genuinely, yes. There's a part of me that is very afraid.
I didn't have any kids at your age. I did not have children at 29. Olivia was born at 31, Max at 32, Charlie at 34.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I am afraid that there's a part of me that will wait, right? And then I'll try to have children and I won't be able to. That's a real concern. And I have Googled freezing my eggs, which is insane. And
You
I
are
saw how
29.
right, which would be the best time to save your eggs, right? For whenever you need them. I looked at it, it's like at least $10,000.
Oh, Nick, your mother did not love you, and you desperately need Jesus, Nick. I'm sorry. Christine, that's a really, really, really different. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to say that. There is no guarantee you can have kids.
Right.
Well, thank you
there
for that
No, and there
Stephen
isn't.
King realization.
Well,
That's horrific. Don't say that to somebody.
Well, but it's true.
Okay, but it's also true that...
And it may not be age dependent, right? I mean, there's a whole variety of factors that could lead to the inability to have children yourself. What's
I don't
wrong?
like comments like that. That is not what you should be thinking about at 29.
But that's realistic.
No, but it's a little it's a little fear-mongering in my opinion. There's no reason to believe that you couldn't have children. You're healthy. You take care of your body.
I don't think that the comment was meant in that.
I know, but people make those comments, not just that comment in particular.
Right.
Well, there's like no guarantee that you'll find a husband.
True.
There's no guarantee that you'll have children. Well, there's no guarantee about anything in life. There's no reason to believe that you will have any problems finding a husband or having children. You're healthy. You take care of your mind, body, soul.
Well, I do believe that
I feel
a husband and children are in God's plan for me. I do believe that because that's what's on my heart, and I believe.
Okay, Christine, I'm sorry. I will go back and read. I apologize.
On my heart, but yeah, it is a real concern. Oh, thank you, Gladys. There is a follow-up.
Okay, I'm going to go back and read.
My ex, who's 49, is having twins. Oh, yeah.
I understand that there are obviously... Okay.
Wow, 41 and 43. That gives me hope. Yeah, that is why you have to trust God.
Okay. So, wow. Oh my God, you guys are so cute in the comments here. More importantly, do you want to talk about how Katie has no wrinkles in her forehead, guys? Should we talk about that? Should we talk about the fact that at 29, they just don't have wrinkles, guys? That's the truth.
Right.
I didn't have wrinkles at 29 either.
By 35. That's what we're talking about. But my mom, she had me at 32 and my brother at 39, which particularly even back then was like she got a lot of pressure.
No, and my mom had David at 37. And that in the 80s, people were like, Susan, oh my God, you're going to give birth to a mongrel. And she was like, I'm giving birth to King David, thank you very much, and called him King David for the first 4 years of his life, which is why my brother acts the way he does.
How bad does everyone want to meet Susan, though? Like, can we see video footage of her?
Did you not ever see Susan saying, Costco? Who remembers that video? This is a video of my mom, right?
Oh, what? Oh, someone asked, what do you say to young women who don't want kids? You know, that's what I love about 2018.
Don't have them.
Yeah, it is that, or good for you, right? Like, we're free to make whatever choices we want to make. Like, I love that gender roles are shifting, right? So one of the things, I mean, not to talk work, but to talk work, we're looking at re-exploring the Mr. Mom title. And so I went back and I watched...
Oh my gosh, with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I went back and watched...
Can we do that with Kevin Hart? Can we remake that with Kevin Hart?
It would be something fun to consider.
Oh my gosh.
We can talk about it later.
But that would have to be a feature. That couldn't be a digital series.
We're kind of looking at it like Modern Family.
Oh, how cute is that?
Okay, anyways,
interesting.
So I went back and watched the original film, and I was shocked at what a horrible person Michael Keaton is in the movie. His character is like literally the worst man ever. Go and watch it. You will feel so bad for what it was like to be a woman in the 80s. It was shocking. But the whole conceit of the movie, right, is this man becomes unemployed, can't get a job, so his wife has to go back to work, and he stays home to raise the 3 children. And the whole movie is him being a bumbling idiot, trying to figure out like how to take care of the children and do the domestic tasks, right? How to vacuum, how to cook, how to do laundry. And he screws them all up epically. But it's like that movie doesn't work in that way today. We're increasingly getting married later or not at all. Men hopefully now getting married in their 30s and 40s know how to do a little bit of laundry before they do. So, I mean, everything's changing. You
Right.
don't, like,
You have to you definitely would have to modernize that movie because men are not bumbling idiots.
But I say that to say that the expectations, I think, are so different today. And I know so many people that are married without children and are perfectly happy. I mean, I live in LA, so I know it's a little more, it's different on the coasts.
Yeah. Yeah, the middle of the country is definitely more, family oriented, I should say. It's not that they're... The coast, New York and LA, because they're so industry dependent, tend to put a lot more pressure on people to be career oriented. The middle of the country is more family oriented.
I read a study that said the average age of a grandma or something like that is 44. It was something really fascinating. It can't be average. That doesn't sound right.
I'm 41. Oh my God, I'm 41.
It has something to do with the demos on Lightworkers. We have a lot of young grandmas.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
But women were having children much younger, especially godly women back in the 80s, like they were having children much younger.
Right. Well, because you're supposed to wait to have sex.
Right,
So
and they wanted to have
you
sex.
get married at 18 and have sex.
This
right
is why
away.
I didn't have kids till I was 31. I was having the sex.
So everyone's rushing to get married because they're rushing to have
Listen,
sex.
every time people say, you had a lot, you talk about sex a lot, and you're godly, Jamie. I always go, remember, I wasn't saved till I was in my late 20s.
Right, and well, you're also married, and God really, gave us sex as a gift, and to
God
enjoy
really did give us sex
context
as a
of
gift.
marriage.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you for that gift.
My
All right,
daughter
I
said
have
told her
to.
she's supposed to have kids.
I have to drive home now because Olivia has a soccer game. See, this is part of the sacrifice. I'd much rather shop in Nashville with Katie
And I'm
today.
going to read all 6 scripts while you're driving.
And I am not going to do that. I am going to drive all the way back to Birmingham and race onto the soccer field to watch Olivia's first soccer game back this season. So I'm very excited. Thank you for joining us this morning. We love you. We did this because we love you. Hey, Amy. Thank you for all of your conversation. Thank you for your comment. I'm going to get dressed and get out of here. I love you guys so much today. Have a great, great day.
Bye.